Across the vast lands of Earth, we find many different cultures that have different traditions and a unique story that gives people a unique look and different flavor on life. And today on FTD Facts, we are jumping into a fascinating country nestled in the heart of Central Europe. A country filled with an amazing history and a proud people who are not only energetic and fun, but loving and warm-hearted. Welcome to the world of Serbia. And of course, everybody, welcome to FTD Facts. My name's Dave Walpole, and this is a channel where we talk about many different cultures and people from all around the world. So if that's your bag, guys, you want to hit that subscribe button because that's what we do here. Now, for me, I'm really excited to talk about Serbia. I'm always excited to learn about new countries, but this one especially. First of all, I got some friends in Serbia, and they're always trying to teach me Serbian, and I always screw it up. So, guys, you can rest assured that the pronunciations in this video are probably going to be English bad. But what gets me really excited about this is we here on the channel like to do weekly polls asking you guys after we release a video which ones you guys want us to do next. And for Serbia, we put it in the poll about 4 times and nobody's picked it, so this time we finally got people saying, yes, we want to hear about this great, amazing country. So I'm like, booyah! We're finally doing Serbia. All right, we do Serbia. I'm not sure if that is really, that's more of a Russian accent. It's not really Serbia. Whatever, let's just have some fun. Oh, yeah, and wait a second. Before we get into the facts, just to remind you guys, here on FTD Facts, we usually do part 2s to certain country videos. And if you guys really want to know more about Serbia or you're liking this video, hit that like button because if we get over 3,000 likes, we generally do a part 2. So be sure to do that. So let's get started. Let's find out what is great about this amazing country. Now, of course, when we think of Serbia, we might think of them as a crazy country, a country that drinks a lot, parties a lot. But realistically, they're just people like you and me. They're just trying to get through their days, you know, trying to survive the struggles of the economy, all that sort of stuff. You know, educating themselves, raising families, and all that jazz. But now, if we look at Serbia, it is, first of all, a very beautiful country, but let's quickly look at the population. Now, as of a 2017 estimate, they sit at approximately 7,111,024 people, ranking approximately 104th in the world. Now, for some of these facts, I'm not going to include Kosovo because, well, that's kind of a disputed territory, so we won't really go there. Now, with that, the population density equals approximately 91.1 people per square kilometer, ranking 121st in the world. But as for land size, this beautiful country, including Kosovo, comes in at 112th of all countries in the world, with a land size of 88,361 kilometers square. However, without Kosovo, it would have 77,474 kilometers square, being at 118th. Now, one thing that I've always kind of wondered when it comes to a lot of these European countries is, do they have provinces like my country of Canada, or do they have states like the United States, or do they have different sort of regions and different names for it? Well, in Serbia, they don't actually call these regions states or provinces, they actually call them divisions. And as for the country of Serbia, it has about 29 of them. Now, of these 29 divisions, the largest is Zlatibor, which is a district coming in with approximately 6,140 kilometers square. Of course, the smallest of this is Samadija district, and it has a total land size of 2,387 kilometers square. Of this, the largest when it comes to population is the Raska district, with approximately 300,000 people in that district, quite a lot of people as a matter of fact. With the smallest district being the Kolyubara district, and it has a population of 174,228 people. It also should be noticed that for all of these 29 districts, only one of these districts is not part of the major territories and gets somewhat special status, and that is the capital city of Belgrade. Now, Belgrade has a population of 1,683,962 people within its district. Now, not only is this the most populated city in all of Serbia, but it's also one of the most populated cities in all of Europe and the oldest cities in all of Europe. Not only does it cover over 3% of the entire country, but the amount of population makes up 24% of the entire country's population. And for this particular city, it's actually also stated that it was founded way back before 279 BC. That's a long time ago, which at the time was an old city known as Singidunum. And although scientists aren't 100% on the actual date of its formation, this ancient city is what evolved into what is now known as Belgrade, and some of the structures from the old city, such as walls, are still around Belgrade today. Also for Belgrade, the first time it was found to be written as a name for the city was on April 16th, 878. And although it's been the capital of the Kingdom of the Serbs and that region for many years, there were officially signed documents that has the city of Belgrade being the capital on the 1st of December of 1918. So with us talking about people, we gotta see what kind of people actually live in Serbia. And before we get in that, we got to let you guys know that Serbia actually hasn't done a proper census since 2011, so some of these numbers are going to be slightly off because, it hasn't been done in a while. Now, for Serbia, they say within all their population, approximately 83.3% of them identify as Serbian. 3.5% of them identify as Hungarian, 2.1% identify as Roma, and 2% are Bosniaks. On top of that, 4.7% identify as other, and 3.7% of the population were unspecified. Now, for languages, when it comes to their main language, it is Serbian, of course. And for this language, they say approximately 83% of the entire population speak it with a native tongue. However, it's interesting to know that the Serbian language is the only language in all of Europe that not only uses the Cyrillic alphabet, but also uses the Latin one as well. That's right, guys, it's just kind of a very mixed sort of thing. I guess that's the way they do it over there. But unlike other countries, Serbia only actually has one national official language. But it should be known that although on a country scale it only might have one major language, its district Vojvodina has other official languages such as Hungarian, Romanian, Slovak, Russian, and Croatian. Which I actually found pretty interesting because I've never heard of a certain district or province or state having more than one actual language. Because when you think of languages, you think it's run by the entire country and not by individual states or provinces or districts. And I actually forgot to mention one thing when it comes to Belgrade being around for so long. The one thing that's great about Serbia is it's a country that's been around forever as well. This is because where the country stands today, it was part of the Roman Empire. And actually, the country of Serbia, where it stands today, was the birthplace of many Roman emperors. Now, I got some mixed sources here. I heard that there were 18 Roman emperors that were born in Serbia, but I've also read that there were only 17. Either way, that's quite a lot because it makes up 1/5 of all the Roman emperors that were ever around. And most of them were born in a city what was known as Sirmium, which in today's world is the region of Sremska Mitrovica, which I actually really hope I pronounced that one right because I tried on that one. Yeah. And of course, if we're going to talk about Serbia, we got to do our usual. We got to talk about money because that's really important when it comes to Serbia because it is a big contributor around the world. It's got some really cool tricks up its sleeve. Now, as for the GDP purchasing power parity, as of 2018, it comes in at $112.475 billion, ranking 78th in the world. Now, its per capita, excluding Kosovo, comes in at $16,063, ranking 83rd in the world. Now, when it comes to the currency of Serbia, they like to use the Serbian dinar. Now, actually, a little bit of a history lesson when it comes to the dinar. Most countries that use the dinar are actually old remnants or countries that actually belonged to the Ottoman Empire way back in the day. And these countries are Jordan, Iraq, Macedonia, and many others who all use the dinar, but each dinar is different because the economy is different for each country. And for the Serbian dinar, you may wonder how long have they been using it? Well, it traces back to even 1214 AD. But that's just money, guys. Let's take a look at imports and exports of Serbia and find out what they like to contribute to the world. So for exports, they earn approximately $36.8 billion in goods, making it the 74th highest country in the world when it comes to exports. Now, of course, they got a lot of different things. They have insulated wire being 4.1%, rolled tobacco at 3.7%, corn being 2.8%, and cars being 6.9%, and electricity being 3.2% of all the exports that they make. And I want to dive a little bit deeper into their exports because one thing that Serbia is known really great for is its agriculture. That's right, farming. I know when you think of Serbia, you don't really think of farmers, but believe it or not, they got some really high awards for it. Now, this is simply due to the fact that they have approximately over 5,056,000 hectares of agriculture. And firstly, they are one of the top 15 countries that produce wine in the entire world. And for them, they have approximately 70,000 hectares of vineyards within the country, producing about 425,000 tons of grapes annually. But that's not the only thing, because they're also the second largest country in the world when it comes to producing plums. That's right, they're known for plums, which for these particular fruits, they produce approximately 582,485 tons annually. As well, one of the most common things and most important things that come from Serbia is raspberries. That's right, you probably didn't know that the raspberries that you're eating most likely come from Serbia. Either way, for this particular country, they're always battling it out for the first place with Poland. And Serbia usually produces about 89,602 tons of raspberries a year. But that's just a loose sort of estimation, guys, because in 2001, they apparently were ranked number 1 in the entire world and not second, and they produced that year over 100,000 tons of raspberries. And of course, in 2012, they also apparently produced 95% of the world's amount. And one of the reasons for this raspberry heaven, because their red gold, as they call it, is produced easily in Serbia because of its perfect climate. And if we're going to talk about land, let's talk about one really interesting phenomenon in Serbia, and that is Mount Rotund. While not being the tallest mountain within Serbia, as it stands at 5,135 feet, it is famous for its very unique shape, and that is looking like a perfect pyramid. It's pretty darn accurate. And because of its perfect geological shape, people have come up with many different crazy theories about this mountain. Some people have said that they've seen aliens there. Some people have said that it used to be like an old pyramid, or that there's a pyramid underneath and that there's buried treasure within this mountain. And every single year for this particular mountain, tourism goes up with people saying that they have felt some sort of energy while being on that mountain. So there you have it, guys. That is the country of Serbia. Now, we've just skimmed the surface of this beautiful and amazing country. And as I stated earlier, if you guys want a part 2, make sure you hit that like button. And of course, be sure to leave comments and suggestions and some facts on countries that we've missed for the part 2 if you know any. Feel free to send me a message on Instagram. My link's down there in the description box below. It's a much easier way for you guys to reach out to me when it comes to requests and also correcting me on certain facts. So be sure to do that. But either way, this is the country of Serbia, a beautiful, amazing country filled with an amazing people and loving people. A culture and individuals who are known to be the most hospitable people on the planet, as it is just proper manners to welcome guests who come to their country. It is a nation that contributes so much to the world, and it cannot be forgotten. A place of pure beauty, love, and fun. This is the people, country, and culture of Serbia. A nation that emanates great mystery through its warm and accepting heart. So if you guys like this video, be sure to check out our other videos on other European countries or just other countries around the world. Once again, leave a comment for a future video and also hit that subscribe button if you guys haven't done so already. Make sure you hit that bell notification because that's the only way you can hear from us because YouTube's broken. But other than that, we'll see you in the next one. Bye!